What's going on, everybody? Nova Q, King T, Axel. What is up? Hope you guys are doing well. Dr. Loco, Marlums. So, market looks pretty bad, if I'm being honest. But we'll talk about that soon. VYBO, what's up? Nix, Nico. Hope everyone is doing well. We'll give people a couple minutes to get in here, and then we will get started. Long scenarios for ETH. We'll talk about it. It's just whales trying to get your cheap coins, right? I'm not feeling very cozy either. Is it over? I don't think so. But we might be further away from a bull run than we think if this breaks down. I mean, it definitely could still do something like this and then go up. But it's like, man, we have come down here a lot. So, it's getting a little dicey. It is getting a little dicey. How long? I don't know. I can't really predict that. Do you do any FA? A little bit. I mean, fundamentals are kind of why I got into crypto in the first place, so I'm really bummed out that I didn't have this range marked like this. So originally I had it like this, and so I was like, oh, nice, good impulsive move back into the range, broke above the origin of the dump right here, and I thought it was looking good. Then it started like not really respecting the level too well, and I ended up changing it to this, and I really like how the mid-range interacts with the range like this, and also this sweep into the range low was such a killer short opportunity. And so if I had my range marked properly from the get-go, probably would have taken that, but that's a bummer. So, all right, well, we'll get started. We gave people a few minutes. Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Cause. Switching up the time frame a little bit again to keep accommodating for different time zones. I appreciate you being here. Quick shout out to Bybit for sponsoring the stream. Thanks to them, we can do these on a regular basis, all for free. So If you guys appreciate the content, feel free to check out Bybit with the link in the description. And also, I think we're like 10 subscribers away from 5K, so it'd be pretty sweet to hit that. And also help me out with that YouTube algo. If you guys like this video, then YouTube will start pushing my content more. With that out of the way, let us jump into the analysis. So, I'm still in these trades. I tweeted yesterday saying I took 50% off right here, and then I added it back on. So, I'm back to a full position on this one, but my average entry is a little lower. It's probably around here now, but I didn't really bother changing it because I didn't want to confuse anyone. I think if we're going to bounce, it kind of has to happen from here. This is kind of like a triple tap of this low, right? We made a low, we came here and swept it, and now we're retesting it. So ideally, I'd like to see that level hold as support. If it does not hold, then the only two levels I'm kind of looking at are here at 31.1 and then the yearly open, which don't look at the yearly chart right now because it's pretty trash, but a lot can change in half a year. So and this level, I've kind of been saying all along that it makes me a little concerned that Bitcoin took out the low into the yearly open on every exchange except for, did we? Well, now I'm just confused. Was it Coinbase? I don't remember now. Anyway. So we're kind of at that do or die level, you know? It's like bounce here or this is going to get really ugly. My emotions, I would say, are telling me that this looks horrible and it's going to break down. The floor at 30K is going to break and we're about to go spend some time in the 20s. So that's kind of what my emotions would say, because this does look really ugly here. But because of that, like that could also kind of be a bottom signal. So when things look the worst, when things look hopeless, when your emotions are telling you that it's going to zero, you're probably usually pretty close to a bottom. So that's something I'm kind of keeping an eye out for. And if we do start putting in a substantial bounce, I kind of expect the low of the week to be in. So today is Tuesday. I'm going to hide these just to clean the chart up a little. Today is Tuesday. Let's see what Monday's range is looking like. Yeah, okay, so it's that low. So I'm going to delete this low. I'm also going to delete last week's Monday's range. But I'm going to put a line right here because I still think Monday's high from last week is important. And then we'll mark this guy. So we just took out Monday's low. Like, looking at things in a vacuum, that doesn't look bad. That's fine. If we can break back above that level, then I would start thinking the low is in, but also that could just be a bearish retest of this consolidation. And so I think the higher probability play, if you want to get long, is waiting for a breakout above that consolidation. Get a little bit of a break in structure, plus the confluence from getting back within Monday's range, stuff like that. I'm not going to talk about serum right now. Asking 3 times isn't going to help. Yearly open, it's just the higher time frame version of why I think the weekly open and the monthly open and all that matters. I would just say they are higher time frame SR. So something like this would give me more confidence that the low is in, but definitely don't want to jump the gun. Like, I'm absolutely not longing right here expecting this to happen. Like I said, it looks like crap. Market looks really iffy. It looks on edge. But that can change quick. Please talk about short options. So here's the thing. If you were going to short, this was the short opportunity, and this was the short opportunity. You could short if we lose this level and start rejecting from Monday's low as resistance. But more or less, like, your emotions want you to short right here after we've put in this down move, just like your emotions want you to long up here after we pumped, just like your emotions want you to short right here after we dumped. Like, that's just how it goes. That's just how your emotions are going to work. So I don't really want to short right now after it's already dropped 7% in a day. Like, I just not as interested. I'm comfortable with my combination of spot and USD. If I felt overexposed, then it might be a different story. But I think you're kind of just FOMOing into a short if you short right here. With that being said, though, if this can't get back within Monday's range, then I do think short options are on the table. Like, if it does reject from this, gets back below Monday's low, then it's like, all right, price tried to bounce. It couldn't even hold 32.6, and it's probably going down. Yeah, I'm feeling I know my voice is a little like raspy or something, but I think I'm good. Thank you for asking, though. So that's kind of the only short scenario I would really look for, but I definitely don't want to FOMO into a short here, because it's like, what would the technical reason behind a short be? It would just be your, like, emotions. You'd be panicking, and I don't trade based off my emotions. I trade based off of my system, and if that tells me to short, I'll short. Technically, this could have been a good short opportunity, but I took it as a take profit opportunity. I still did think we would go for these levels, these equal highs right here, and this untapped Monday's high, but we can still get there. We'll see how we end up closing this 4-hour candle. If it closes as a nice sweep of Monday's low, and we also hold this level as support, then I might even tighten my stop to this low on my current longs, just to make my risk as tight as possible. That way, if it does end up breaking down from here, I'm out. So keeping an eye on that. I think the higher time frame play on Bitcoin, like, if you want to be really conservative, but this is basically what we're talking about when we were on this chart, and I was saying like get above this consolidation. So another way of looking at that is we would have a 4-hour breaker here. So if we push up, break in structure above that high, retest it, then I would expect to move up to Monday's high. I haven't really been on Twitter today other than tweeting that I went live, but maybe you guys have, and I would probably assume that people are not feeling too good. There's probably a lot of bearishness. And that's kind of what I would assume we start to see more often when we get closer to a local bottom. So I think this is a good higher time frame plan to keep an eye on. If it plays out, I think the low of the week is in here, and you do something like this, targeting that. And then this is where you look for your short or above other highs. But it's like after it's been dumping, I'm not too keen on looking for shorts after price is already dumped. Just like I'm not as interested in longs after we've already pumped. You know, it's the same thing. Bear memes and crying cat videos. You love to see it. So back to Ethereum. Yeah, you guys were saying there's some low time frame divs. Oops. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I think it looks cleaner here. But I don't use divs a lot. I think they can be nice confluence, but I'm not like a RSI expert. But I do think we are close to a bottom due to like multiple of those reasons we've been talking about. So for Ethereum, this looks pretty clean too. We just took out this low earlier. And we have this 4-hour level right here, similar to Bitcoin. That other 4-hour level I drew out. So something like this is at least a no-brainer mean reversion long that I would be looking for, like at least targeting like 2200-ish. There is blood in the streets and there is panic everywhere, but that is when you want to be looking for some longs. I wonder how this would line up down here. It's not bad. It's not a bad looking range. We could be onto something with this as well. Like this could be more relevant right here. We have the mid-range right there with really clean SR. Like I know it wasn't directly, like it pushed a little lower here, front ran the level a little bit there, but this general region has been pretty pivotal. Like if I drew it like this. So with this is the range low. With this is the range low. With this H4 4-hour level is confluence. That could be a nice push. Where the bearish scenarios, they've played out. I mean, if you guys want to short this right now, like be my guest. But the higher reward plays are with longing. The bearish scenario is just we fall further. That's nothing new. You guys don't need me to explain that. Bearish scenario is just reject at the closest resistance and then keep going down, because that's what we've been doing all week. It's reject right here and go down. Reject right here and go down. But I feel like those could be figured out. What's up, Spaceman? My ETH chart is in log. I don't really care. I feel like I'm always on a low enough time frame where it doesn't really matter. Yeah, to each their own. But Ethereum is down 19% in a couple days. Well, in like 6 days. So if you want to short that, be my guest. But it's like, that's what your emotions are going to tell you when price is looking like this. And if your emotions are telling you that, they also told you to long right up here. And that got you in trouble. So, yeah. Now it feels like it's in slow-mo. That's funny. Like when things look ugly, they want you, or like your brain wants you to short. When things are looking really good, your emotions want you to long. And trading is not about giving into your emotions and trading based off that. It's about trading with a systematic approach. Oh shoot, you're right, Hector. We gotta turn on the lo-fi. That's what's missing from this stream. And my voice is a little funky. No, I'm not high though. Is that what random name deleted? Yeah, I'm not high. I don't smoke anything. Okay, now we're vibing. I'm doing well, Spaceman. I got my market profile up. We barely front ran this naked POC though, which was a little tragic. But we've pretty much taken out all relevant levels below. We just got this last VAL. So it makes sense to me to start pushing for some of these NPOCs, naked POCs. So from a market profile standpoint, I do think this starts to push. Gimme all the meme reversion. You were liquidated? No. I don't think I've ever been liquidated. Maybe like a $100 challenge account, $500. But yeah, I don't think you should ever, like, liquidation should never even be an option. I don't know why people talk about it so much on crypto, Twitter. It's like, just risk a percentage and put your stop loss in. I don't know. I don't want to like be mean about it, because obviously there are people that have gotten liquidated, but it's like, if you follow any sort of risk management and use a stop loss, you should never really get liquidated. When you say E3 claiming a level, do you mean a 4-hour candle close above or multiple? It depends how much confirmation you want to wait for. Like, if this pushes up here, man, now I gotta switch this back to black, and closes a 4-hour candle at like 2050, you could enter a partial position, and then if it gives you like a lower time frame pullback, then you could just enter the rest. Something like that. A lot of shorts were liquidated on ASX. Yeah, I wouldn't want to short the strongest coin in crypto right now, so I need another cup of coffee. My voice is so shaken. No, I actually I woke up like an hour ago. And I hadn't really like talked until I got on the stream. So, that's why my voice is a bit funky. Yes, I'm okay. I appreciate your guys' concern, but I am alright. So we can talk more about these shortly. That's not what you want to see. FTT is still holding pretty well. Like, it's still above this level. It's barely even pulled back. Whereas, like, BTC and ETH, like, you can obviously see this is just consolidation. Like, it's just compressing in nature. And then with ETH, I would almost say it's kind of downtrending. It broke that low. Could be a deviation, but we'll see. And FTT has been in an uptrend. So that's good to see, because that's one of the coins I hold more spot of. But really no action to be taken here. This is an interesting one that I'm watching, though. Aave, that I think is getting pretty close to possibly giving us an entry. I still would want to see us sweep these lows and then get back above 285-ish. So I'm still keeping an eye on this one. But we'll see. Is there any way I can donate to you for the content? No, man, that's not necessary. I appreciate it, though. I'm glad you enjoy the content. I guess the only kind of way, if you want to show some support, is you can sign up on Bybit. But other than that, man, you can give that money to a charity of your choice instead. I appreciate it, though. Thanks for tuning in. Would I enter Aave without a sweep? It doesn't need to be like one wick, but no, I won't enter it unless it trades below here and then gets back above. That kind of would be the entry trigger for me. And then AVAX, I'm still long, but I don't know. It has not really done anything at all. So yeah, nothing has changed here. I'm still in this long. I'm pretty much at break even on it. It's still holding my level, which is cool. But, if the market pulls up from here, then I'm sure AVAX will do well and kind of start uptrending. But for right now, just kind of letting this one be. If we do get a move down and then it just starts consolidating and rejecting like here, like pretty much doing this exact thing but below this resistance, then I might just cut it for a smaller loss. But right now, I feel like the only thing I can do is let the market play out, let the market do its thing. Yeah, we can talk about that. I got nothing for comp right now. I don't really know if I should use log or not log, but so yeah, this was a pretty textbook sweep on Bitcoin yesterday. We swept this high, really strong rejection, and it was right into this supply, like to the T. Like this was a gorgeous setup, Strong rejection, sweep into supply. This was the origin of this entire dump, so we know there was a lot of selling pressure here, and there could still be sells that went unfilled. So like, I think it was very logical that we rejected from here, but I guess I was more expecting a rejection there, a move to like here, and then to push up. So we'll see. In hindsight, it probably would have been a good idea to just take a short on a different account, like right on this hourly close. Stop above there, because, you know, be like 4 to 5R right now. But unfortunately, I missed it. I mean, I didn't. Like, I saw it, I just took some profit instead of entering a separate short, which I would have made more money if I entered a separate short and not just taken some profit. So, little bit of a bummer, but it is all good. The market is full of opportunities, and we can look for the next time. But, I mean, that setup has been money recently, and it's one of the main setups I trade. So right here, we had it. Right here, we had it. Right here, we had it, even though it's not a wick, because that was the, you know, on a 4-hour chart, it looks even better. And then right here, we had it. So, this was the big one. This short was, that short was money. But yeah, you can catch some serious tops with it. With that system though, probably would have shorted that too. I did. So sometimes the taking profit is kind of the harder part. The entry trigger is pretty simple, but you kind of just learn which ones have a higher probability of playing out. Who to follow, you or SC? I love you both. SC's a beast. I know he's probably more bearish here. I don't know if he gave any specific short scenarios in his stream, because the only one I could think of is a retest of this and reject at Monday's low and then push down. Or obviously this level has held as nice support. So if this really gets going and breaks down from here, then I think you kind of have to short it. Like, we could be in some triangle still, even though it kind of seemed like it was here. I guess you could be in some triangle here, or just a consolidation in general. And so if we do break down, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to stop. Like, I think you have a chance at 31K. Whoops. I think there's a chance it stops at 31K. But we've started testing that level a lot. Where would you say current BTC longs are invalidated? I didn't ask to become a mod. And yeah, I was there. I think that's what he was saying. I wasn't high. Why is everyone asking me if I'm high? SZXO and you, the best in CT. I appreciate that, man. How do you identify that short? Basically just taking out the original eager shorts, taking out their stop losses with a sweep, and when it is into a resistance level like this one is, then it kind of adds probability to it. But it's just simply a sweep, an SFP of the high, more or less. What's up, Ace? But yeah, I guess that's how I would say I identify it. What is your reasons you are not interested in longing now? It's because I'm still long already. This one. I'm still in both of these. So, this one's just above break even. This one's a little underwater, but I was able to close some here and then re-enter it here. So, I'll have to do the exact calculations later if I do get stopped out of these. But the reason I feel pretty good about having my stop loss here on both of them now is if this is coming down, I think it's coming down to here. When you're looking for candle closes as confirmations, what time frame? Well, it depends what time frame. Like if it's a 4-hour level, I would want to see a 4-hour close above it. If it's a daily level, I would want to see a daily close above it. Everyone wants to see AXS, huh? So how do you short this? I wouldn't. First of all, I think the most conservative way of doing so would be with a daily break in structure. If it did something like this, then I think you can short it. But I wouldn't short this when it's like in printing all-time high mode, you know? But if it breaks below this level, I think that would be a pretty killer short, which would basically be just breaking below this consolidation that led to the most recent all-time high. Something like that. So when coins are in price discovery mode, there's no like resistance level that I'm just going to blindly short, because obviously there are no resistance levels left. So you kind of need to use the current price action to see if you get a break in structure. And if you do, you can look for a short. So that's kind of what I would need to see. Huge div on the 4-hour. I believe it. Oh my gosh. That is huge. And I guess it's getting its first one on the daily right now too. From this high to that one. As long as this doesn't close at like 30. But yeah, I wouldn't blindly short this right here. And also, you guys know I like Monday's range. Monday's range is basically that entire consolidation. So, turn this down just a little. So if it basically lost that entire consolidation, I would probably say decent short opportunity. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be blindly shorting price discovery. Would I reply to a DM? I try my best, but I get quite a few of them. So it can just become a little difficult. And then when I get behind on replying to DMs, then I really get behind. What's the logic of price action bouncing to the opposite side of liquidity? Is it the assumption that stopped out shorts will just reshort, re-adding to the sell pressure? I don't know which example we're specifically talking about, but I would say it's more so like I would want to see it bounce after taking out lows, because it stops out the early longers, stops out the eager longers, and then it gets pushed up afterwards, and then they become the ones that FOMO in and kind of fuel the move up. Whereas on the upside here, if anyone shorted this, their stop loss was right here, and then they all got stopped out, price started breaking down, and some of those people that shorted right in here that got stopped out might have FOMO'd in here, and it kind of fueled it down. What do I think about the shorts from the whales on Bitfinex? I think someone's asking this question just about every day, and I don't care, for lack of a better word. I don't really care what the whales on Bitfinex are doing, because, like, for all you know, they could be holding that much spot and they're just hedging their spot, or they could have longs. They could have longs open on different futures contracts, on quarterly futures, and they could just be simply hedging those positions with the shorts. Like, we have no idea what they're doing. We don't know that they are, like, genuinely short on the market, or if it's some type of hedge or something like that. But because of that, I think it's kind of dangerous to try and take too much from it, because it's like we have no idea what the reasoning behind the short is. They could have a bunch of call options that they're hedging. Like, you just have no idea. And also, it seems like they compound their short after price drops more. So I don't really know what that's all about, but to me it's just noise. To me it's just noise. Like, I feel like I can get enough from the chart to analyze and trade properly and profitably. And so it's like, I don't need all these random factors that may not actually mean anything. The whale's name is Pablo. We hit 5K subs. That's pretty cool. That is all thanks to you guys. Let's go. So yeah, that's why I don't love the whole Bitfinex shorts. What's it called? Narrative. Because we just genuinely don't know. So, all right, quick recap of the scenarios we're looking for. Essentially, if this keeps dropping straight down, like, there isn't really anything you can do. My system does not allow me to just FOMO in when it's going like this. Everyone trades differently, but I can't do that because I don't think that is profitable over a long period of time. Thanks, Johnny. Good to have you here, man. I like cause I'm from Korea. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So I do think Bitcoin, at least bouncing from here, gives us like an opportunity to trade the market in either way. Just like the scenario I laid out before. Either I think we reject in here and then you can look for a short, or we're able to break above this level and also get above Monday's low and this 4-hour level here. And I think that would be nice confluence for a long, and it would be a pretty high freaking risk to reward trade if this does end up bottoming out here, right? Because you probably have like a 2% stop loss. Just going to these highs, 2.8, but if we do end up breaking out of this little consolidation to the upside, then this trade would get very lucrative. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not necessarily predicting this. Like I said, if I had to guess, I would say we go down. Like, this looks ugly, but it's my emotions saying that. Just like your emotions say, like, I want short scenarios because this market's going down. But it's like, after it's dropped already, we don't want to FOMO into shorts. And when everyone's emotions say it looks ugly and it's going down, it's probably about to rip in the other direction. So that's one scenario I'm looking for. Otherwise, rejection from 33K, this consolidation, could be something we get. If we do get a bounce and start to reject around here, if it looks like we're seeing quite a bit of weakness, then I might close my longs at like break even or whatever it would be. But I would update you guys with that on Twitter. Ethereum, pretty much the exact same thing, right? Either we push up to here, reject, or we push up and flip it. Either way, I need to see some upside to either validate my long ideas or for them to be bounces that we can short. There isn't really another way around it, though. But I mean, for me, like, that's how I trade. And we have Monday's lows confluence. Monday lows confluence. I don't know. This confluence at 2004 or so. So that'd be nice as well. It definitely looks like it's going down, rips in the other direction. I'm serious. It happens. I look at OI a little bit, but not a ton. I do use funding. I believe our funding is pretty negative right now, which is, I mean, that's where you'd want it to be right now. This website is called Viewbase. There's always someone that asks. So, Viewbase. We have negative funding on BTC and ETH on FTX and Binance. Pretty negative on BitMEX, but Ethereum is rather flat. So, this definitely leans towards upside next. But funding can just stay negative for a long time. So, so yeah, flip of that level or rejection from that level. Those are the only times I would look to enter a trade. As always, I'll do my best to update you guys on Twitter with positions that I do take. Can you talk about how did you learn? Sources and methods. A lot of it's trial and error because I learned from a lot of different places. Like, TraderMain has good stuff. Those like ICT concepts. Trader SZ is great with ranges. But at the end of the day, it's like just putting things together for yourself, which I know like kind of sounds like a cop-out because it sucks. It's not the easy answer. You wish there was like just follow this person and you'll be profitable. But that's like not necessarily how it works. Would I enter AVAX long now if I wasn't in the trade already? If Bitcoin followed this plan, then yes. Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't like it as much, but my idea hasn't been invalidated yet. So, that's why I'm still in it. Do I trade divs at all? I keep an eye on them, but I wouldn't say I am a div trader. I also think when you first learn how to trade, I think people want to use indicators as a crutch, and it can kind of make you learn trading slower. Just counter trade CT and you'll be fine. Yeah, low key. Low key. Just copy trade costs blindly. Probably don't do that, but I make mistakes too. What's your stop loss on AVAX? It's in the chart right here. Do I have the Rona? No, I'm just tired. Yeah, that's literally how it is. The dollar pumps, Bitcoin dumps, the dollar dumps, and Bitcoin dumps. Right now, Bitcoin is dumping a lot. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can save this 4-hour candle. I'm not necessarily optimistic, but you never know. Sometimes when things look the ugliest, it reverses, or when things look the best, it reverses. Who's winning the Open? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Alright guys, thank you for bearing with me, even though my voice is a little funky right now. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you enjoyed the stream, once again, feel free to check out Bybit. I will be posting a recorded video this Thursday instead of a stream. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe I'll tweet asking for some Q&A or something that I can cover in that update video, but I will be traveling a little bit once again, and so I'll be recording a video on Thursday. Among all traders group, you're the only one who speaks clear English. Where are you from? It's funny that you say that because I'm actually from Germany, but my dad is from the States, and so I grew up speaking English and German, and I've spoken English a lot. So I've kind of lost any accent. I can still speak English with the German accent, but I can like speak it without one, if that makes sense. Maybe next time we'll only talk with a German accent and you guys won't recognize me. Just kidding. Well, maybe. I don't know. All right, so let's see if any of those scenarios play out, and I will update you guys. Do I need a house sitter for my castle while I'm traveling? No, it's got a decent security system, so it should be all right, but if I left for any longer, then maybe. You need to post in your TG channel with all my chart setups and indicator. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, someone asked what the market profile one is. Market profile overlay, SBTC. It's by Spaceman. You can probably, I think you need to reach out to him for access. He was in the chat earlier. Just Spaceman BTC. And it should say followed by Trader Cause. Can you show us your neck? Alright guys. I'll talk to you in the next one. Stay safe out there.